And it's Thursday. That's right. We made it to Thursday. The week's not over. So don't go goofing off now. It's Thursday, April 25th, 2019. I'm Dave Guerra. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. Let's have a chat, the leadership edition. Past couple of weeks I've been talking about some serious topics, accountability, respect. And now this week, well, the tough decisions, making tough decisions. Had to verify, make sure I did post that in the show notes. That way you didn't come in here all like, surprise. Oops, what's happened here? Oh my. There we go. Alrighty, this is my notes. That's my notes, so I got to talk about them. It's quite a bit. So I'm talking about making a tough decisions. And tough decisions, leaders, that comes with the job. That comes with the territory. It's part of the deal. You're going to make tough decisions. You're going to be faced with those tough choices you have to make. And that's just part of it. That's part of growing up. That's part of becoming an adult. That's part of becoming a leader. That's part of, well, what you do in life. You have to make tough decisions. Sometimes they affect just you. They affect the whole organization, or they will impact your family, friends, whatever. It's tough decisions, and they have to be made. Whatever reason they are, they're there. And they're tough. And why are they tough? Because, well, if they weren't tough, they'd be easy. No, why are they tough? Because, again, it impacts people on a different level. In business, it could impact them financially, meaning that's the end of their job. It could change the way they do business. In a personal setting, it could end a relationship because something's not right. Something is going on. Something's just amiss, and it needs to be addressed. So that being the case, those are the kinds of tough decisions that you're going to be facing. And there is never well, it's like I said, it's part of the job, and being a leader, it's never going to be easy. It's never going to get any more easy as you make those tough decisions. Understand that you can adjust to them and you can make them a little bit better, but the tough decisions still have to be made, and those are not going to get easier. They're only going to get harder. And if you've done it for one, guess what? You can't cookie cut it and make it for somebody else. No. So what makes a tough decision? Well, folks, it's been my experience, there are no prerequisites for tough decisions. What this is considered a tough decision versus that's an easy decision. And the people that tell you that, oh, well, you'll get used to making those tough decisions, are the people who just rather sweep things under the rug, or people that have never truly faced tough decisions because either one of two things: they've stuck their head in the sand, or they passed the buck on to somebody else, let somebody else do the dirty work. And either way, those aren't the people you want to listen to. Because again, no tough decision is easy. Then it wouldn't be called a tough decision. Think about that. So again, don't listen to those naysayers. Don't listen to those individuals that have never truly been responsible or held accountable for their actions and have been responsible for others. And then they say that, well, it's easy. It's going to get easier as you get. No, it's not going to get easier. Don't be fooled. Even what appears to be easy can quickly and inexplicably turn into a very difficult and tough decision-making situation. So remember that as you approach something, you go into it, oh, this is not anything that's going to get too deep, too involved, and guess what? Boom, next thing you know, now you're knee deep in it, and it's going to be the hardest, most difficult thing you've ever had to face. And it happens. It's happened to me numerous times. It's happened to me where I've had to make those tough decisions, but a lot of it was self-induced, not by me, but by the individual I had to deal with. And that doesn't make it any easier. That does not make it any easier. So you just have to keep trying and understand that what might be easy or appears easy, it can actually turn into quite a mess. And well, just like the easy ones, tough decisions have to be treated the same, meaning you have to give it your all. You have to treat them as decisions that truly need to be made. You can't just nilly-willy dispense with the decisions. You have to see them through, understand the repercussions of your decisions as a leader, and then go from there. So you have to give it the full court press. That's what I want to say. You want to give it the full court press. If it's an easy decision or it's a most difficult decision, all decisions need to be treated the same, and that is giving it the full court press. Folks, there is no such thing as a no-brainer. Remember that. There's no such thing as a no-brainer. And again, those that come to you and say, oh, you're going to get to the point, you're going to see these as no-brainers. Again, it's the same individual who had no responsibility, who has no idea what the tough decision making is, because they've always passed the buck. And now they're in a position where, well, they have no choice but to make the tough decisions and they can't make them. So be careful listening to those individuals. Observe, orient, and decide. So when you're doing your decision making, observe everything, collect all the data, fix it, figure out where it crossed the line, where it didn't cross the line, and then make and take action. Decide on an action, what's going to happen. You're going to work with them, or is it just time to cut the cord, let them loose, and go? But you have to act, and acting on tough decisions is often more difficult than actually making the decision. And it truly is. So acting on that tough decision is it's really what I consider the great divider. Why? Because it separates the adults from the children. That's right. You could have somebody there 20, 30, 40 years in a leadership position or an assumed leadership position and still continues to not make the tough decisions because they want to be everybody's friend, because they don't want to be the bad one. They don't want to be the bad individual in a relationship. They don't want to be that one. They don't want to be the bad parent. They don't want to be the bad boss. They don't want to be the bad friend. Well, guess what? Sometimes they need that. And if they just pass the buck, well, again, no. See, doing the tough, the difficult is done one of two ways. It's either done right, the tough decisions, or you act on them, it's done right or wrong. It's with empathy or without empathy. It's engaged or bullied, or face-to-face or detached, like voice or email. Oh, by the way, thanks for calling, but you're fired. What kind of nonsense is that? Who does that? I know somebody who has done that, and that's just pure nonsense. And folks, again, the decision-making is one thing, but acting and delivering on that decision, the tough decisions and acts you have to deliver, they're going to be rough, they're going to be difficult, but you have to do it. That's part of your job as a leader, as a parent, as a boss, as a manager, as a CEO, as a friend. You have to do that. And know that acting on the tough decisions should always, and I mean all the time, be difficult for you. Why difficult for you? Because you're the one that's getting out there and doing it. You're the one that's about to impact someone's life. You're the one that's about to change someone's life forever. And if you don't have the wherewithal to do it, if you don't have the guts to do it, then you don't even belong as a leader. You don't belong in a position that puts you in that kind of situation. You don't belong there. Just hand in your leadership badge and you're gone. It's that simple. Never come across or never act like or come across that you actually like delivering the bad news. Folks, if you're one of those individuals, you are wrong. Never act or make them believe or let them know that you actually like delivering bad news, because that's just weak. That's just being a bully. And I know someone just like that too. Bullies. And again, this guy says, oh, I'll deliver any bad news. And then again, I only see them one way, and I see them as a bully. I don't deal with that individual anymore. I dealt with that individual down recently, but no longer with that organization, and I don't have to deal with that individual because, again, that's not any kind of individual I want to associate myself with. Bullies, no. Which is what I was going to go into the next one. Never make anyone do your dirty work. Don't make anyone do your dirty work. Folks, it's your responsibility. You're the leader. You're the one that's got to do it. Don't pass the buck. Do it quickly. Never make anyone wait for that decision, that tough decision, the acting on the tough decision. And especially yourself, because you're going to get yourself into a situation where it's like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow morning. I'll do it before 5 o'clock Friday. 5 o'clock Friday comes around. Oh, I'll do it on Monday morning, first thing. And it never gets done. And then so the problem just persists and it perpetuates and it grows and it festers and it's out of control. And all because you waited too long. All because you were uncomfortable. That's why you don't make yourself wait. You have to act on it immediately. Making a tough decisions and delivering on that must always be accompanied by documentation. Always document what's going on, how you achieved the decision, where you saw that the line was crossed, and what the action is going to be taken. Whether it's a termination or it's a probation, and it's going to be monitored probation, whatever the situation is, it has to be documented. And why? Because, well, you need to prepare for the negative impact. Because everybody might be thinking, oh, they're going to get rid of this individual, and it turns out, no, they're just on probation. There's going to be fallout. There always is. And again, you don't have to answer to everybody. You only answer to the individual you're dealing with. But if it's impacting the organization as a whole, if it's impacting the family as a whole, then you let them know, look, I can't get into the detail, but we're going to work. And if we can't succeed, then we'll figure out what to do next. After the fact, after the fact. Go back, review the process, the decisions, the actions you took, and you learn from it. This is where it gets easier because you're going to learn from it. You're going to know to go back and look, and you're going to not make mistakes. Sure, you're going to make mistakes. That's accounted for. That's definite. But learn not to make those mistakes. Learn what those mistakes are. Learn from them. Get better. Get comfortable in the fact that you have to deal and you have to do the dirty work, the tough decision making. But never, never, ever like it. And don't listen to anybody that tells you, oh, you'll like it. You'll get used to it. Because if you're a good, strong, effective leader, you'll never get used to the dirty work. It's just that simple. Folks, my name's Dave. Today is Thursday, April 25th, and I will talk to you. Have a good evening. I'll talk to you tomorrow. We close out the week with Forbes Friday.